It's November 7th, 2018. This is your host, Dan. You know, I was almost kind of beside myself to even think I was even going to make a video about what I'm about to do here, which is changing wiper blades. But there's kind of a backstory to this one. So, I need new blades because the ones on my car, they're not really bad, but they're just starting to go. They're starting to skip a little bit on the window when it's fully wet. So I went over to AutoZone, and one of the issues is I had to go to AutoZone not once, not twice, but 3 times to get these blades. And I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, oh, Dan, you probably bought the wrong size blade or whatever and had to go back. No, that's not what happened. The first time I went there, I bought only one blade because maybe I haven't bought blades in a long time. It's probably been 10 years since I've put blades on this car. You know, I walk in the door, I ask the guy to, look up the size of my car just to make sure I got the right size, the right length, and usually that's all there is to it. Went over to the wiper blade aisle, and some of those blades, it's like, oh my God, these things are like up to $35, and you're getting a package with just one blade in it. I mean, really? One blade, $35? So I think they start about 20, but the high end's about 35. So the idea is it's kind of on my way home from work. It's just a little bit out of the way, but since they have their point system there at AutoZone, I figured, I buy one blade one day, come back the next day, get the other blade. This way I get another point on my car to get the free $20. So this would have been a 2-tripper because of the way I wanted to, save a buck or two and get the extra point on my rewards card. But this would have turned out into a 3-tripper anyways, because the first time I went, pretty much every blade they sold on the rack, right in the middle where the pin goes through, they have this pretty large bump right on top of them. And I didn't notice it because they were, of course, in the packaging. I think I bought about a $30 blade. I didn't buy the most expensive one, but just brought the one blade home. Got it out, took a look at it comparatively to the car, and said there's no way this thing's going to work. I'm not even going to bother even trying to put this thing on because this is just, it's not going to work. The reason is that bump there on the top of the wiper, when my wipers shut off, they go under the hood just a little bit. So there's no way that bump is going to clear. It's just going to hit the hood, and then of course they're not going to fully close, and when I'm driving around it's just going to rub on the paint on the edge of the hood, so we can't have that. So I brought the original one blade back to the store, and we had to look up on their computer to see what would fit. I had to take a look at the pictures because before, really all I had was just kind of an arm style. That's it. That's what was on the car before. But I guess nobody sells that pretty much anymore. Everything now has got that big bump on it. So these are the only blades that they even sold that would even fit my car. But of course, they don't stock them, and it's a special order, which creates trip 3 right back to the store. So that's why I couldn't do this any less than 3 trips. Let's take a look at these blades here. I already kind of opened one of them. It came with this piece of paper, which this is kind of comical in itself, really. Look at this. Okay, step 1. Thank you for your purchase. Now remove your old, faded, cracked, useless windshield wipers and recycle them, because we here all at Scrubbable care about the environment, and you should too. Anyone see anything wrong with that? We care about the environment. So you decided to print it out on a piece of paper, which you had to cut down a tree to make. If this doesn't make its way into the garbage and blows away, it's going to be litter. We care about the environment. Look at this blade here. See the packaging with nothing written on it? Bam. How about that? Print it on your packaging. Oh, but we care about the environment. It's in a plastic sleeve, which of course is made from petroleum. I mean, the whole thing is you know, metal and rubber and more petroleum. I mean, this whole thing is manufactured, you know, in ways that do detrimental things to the environment. So, and then, you know, we've got this too as well. Smart thinking, guys. So let's forget about that. We'll get to step 2. Okay, so step 2. Open up the attractive Scrubbable package. Slowly pull your brand new, shiny, strong, functional, and always useful Scrubbable wiper out from the top notch. I'm sorry. Noticing how well your new Scrubbable wiper has been made. Show it off to your friends if you want. This is funny. I mean, look at that one sentence. Your brand new, shiny, strong, functional, and always useful. I mean, what was that, written by some 6-figure D-bag who does resumes or something like that? I mean, okay. You guys are probably trying to, you know, add a little bit of comedy here or something. I don't know. Whatever. But show it off to my friends. That's a funny one. I think if I showed this off to my friends, I'm not going to have any friends anymore. So, God. Let's move on to step 3. After you have shown it off to your friends, for fuck's sake. Oh, God. Install the Scrubbable on your vehicle using the guide below, based on your car's wiper assembly. You feel good about buying a Scrubbable that actually works. Really? Alright. Let's look at your Cheesemo guide. Hook, nope. Bayonet, nope. Male pin, yep. Ooh, frame. Adapter. Great instructions, guys. Really shows you how to get the wiper on or off in all 3 situations. I mean, I can see that just walking over to the car. So this is pretty much garbage, useless. Should have never even been printed. Okay, so that's why I'm kind of doing this video on replacing wiper blades, because I recently had a good friend of mine who needed a little help putting some blades on his car. So what I think might be so super simple for me, and I wouldn't even bother filming it, I do realize that some other people might have a little bit of difficulty doing it. So I guess that's why I'm doing this. Plus there's this backstory to it as well. So if there wasn't the backstory, I probably wouldn't even bother filming this. But oh yeah, per the instructions, let's slowly remove this blade. And we're going to do it like $6 Million Man. You know, Steve Austin. Really? Get out of the package. Okay, so this is the blade. As you can see, I just need just the frame style. I don't want that big dumb bump on the top. And you'd think, you know, yeah, because you're a Corvette owner, you're some anal, nitpicky, you know, weirdo. But I already noticed something off the bat I kind of don't like about these wipers, is that there's all these holes punched in the top, which kind of looks like Cheesemo, like some kind of, you know, tuner car or something like that. Like these would come in colors or whatever, but who knows? You know, the price of blades has now gone up and they're punching these holes in it. So, you know, that metal saved over in a bucket after, you know, X amount of blades probably makes more blades. So I feel like I'm getting almost a cheaper blade, but this is the only thing I could get. And I almost thought of just trying to switch out just the refill onto my other blade. Because I don't like the style of this. But the way this is made, it's got these stops here, and it would also have one at the end, so I'd have to take off 1, 2, 3, 4 of these on each one, and that'd just be too much trouble. So we're just going to put these on, since this looks like my only option for now. Next time I go get blades, I'll remind myself I'll just go to the dealer, as much as I don't like giving them a penny, and get the blades from them next time and see what they have. But you know, all this trouble just to get a blade that actually fits, you know, so I'm just gonna use these. So I have the pin style, it just pops through the hole. One thing those instructions they don't show is how to take the blade off the car. So let's go over to the car and I'll show how they tuck under the hood and show how those old blades come off. These are my old blades on the car that are gonna get replaced. If you look, the driver one's mostly under the hood, passenger one tucks under just a little. And here, there you can see by the pin, there's not much room, so they're not gonna fit, at least all those ones with the bump. Here, I'll walk over to my other car, I'll show you what I'm talking about. See how on this blade, how this bump, how it's so tall, it's so huge. This is a nice blade, and this is really kind of what I wanted. I wanted just the flexible rubber ones. I didn't even want a metal one, but of course couldn't get it. But this is for comparison why I had to go through all this trouble. Getting the old blade off is simple enough, but there's just a tiny little trick, which of course they didn't show you in the instructions, but this is a different blade entirely. But right here on the blade there's a little tab, and all you got to do is stick your fingernail under, pull that tab up, pull the tab up, and it wiper comes right off. Easy peasy. So this is what I was kind of beefing about on the other blade, how this is all encased. I can't remember where I got these. I got them at a dealer, but that's why I'm not going through the hassle to try to switch the blades, because just the blade itself, because if they're a hair wider it just would be a waste of effort. I'd be ruining them and whatnot. So that's how they come off. So popping the new blade on should be easy enough. Looks like there's two holes on this. It's going to go through one of them. I think that one is probably too big. Yeah, that's too big. That's not the right one. Get off of there. Come on. Jeez. Careful. Okay, so when you use this hole, this is blocked. Obviously, it's probably going to get flipped around. You're going to notice too on this, looks like these little tabs right here, that's the little special release to get it off, which they don't tell you about in the instructions. Nice job, guys, once again. Okay, so we'll get that hole lined up, and from there it should just snap on. Oh wow, that's, God, these kind of suck. Really? Alright, I'm not liking these right off the bat. Why? Take a look at that. Look at how that wiper is just skying off the windshield. Is my other one like that? No. So, with it like that, I'm wondering if I'm going to have a concern with it once again hitting the hood when the wipers are off. So, I'm thinking these aren't going to work. I don't even know if I really want to shut it off. These things are kind of ugly too at this point. Let's get this thing off. Yeah, I don't know about this. This looks like this is going back. Let me go grab the stock one. I mean, really? How many cars have this type of pin on it? And somehow this has got to be a problem. Yeah. It's not even to the ring of my finger. This one, skying. You know, it's a good, probably half to almost 3/4 of an inch. Alright, so this is a no-go at this point. These suck. I guess I'm gonna go to the dealer and order up a pair from them and see how they work. So these are going back in the package, back to the store, and I'm just gonna take the originals and I'm gonna try cleaning the blade as best I can, just see how long, how much, maybe if I can get any more life out of them. But I think I thought I saw in some spots some of the rubber starting to like dry rot a little bit, but we'll see. But definitely these are going back. Fail. Just further looking at these, this clip on here, this really is garbage, because you know it goes through like this and this piece really has no lock, so one day this is just gonna fall off. I mean, it's only on this axis right here where they have this rivet, but you know, there's nothing to really snap this piece into place. So sorry, but Scrubbable, your product is absolute garbage, and I wouldn't even think of putting this on not only this car but any car I own, or would recommend this to anybody else. And the other blade just goes on and off, so simple. It works, it's the right height, it's not like this. So you know what, let me go take this over and we'll put this next to the other blade. Here, looking at this a little closer, remember I said that this has two holes and that this piece flips around depending on which hole you're going to use? Here's the joke part about these wiper blades. Now, if this piece here were to move a little bit, either, you know, one way, and my car has wipers on, that thing could just pop right out of here. And that wouldn't be a good thing if the wipers are on high and all of a sudden that iron goes bang right down on the window and then scraping the window. I mean, that's kind of ridiculous. Look at why that's a possibility. Because when you flip this around, and I'm going to flip it up just slightly. Just slightly. See right here? It's almost like a little tab. You know, you'd think when you push it in, it would lock in. No, it doesn't. It's just the outward pressure on the inside to hold it in. There's no like little cutout in the frame, which you think it would be like snap or something. So these once again, in my opinion, are very, very poorly made. And even if I did try to use them and I didn't have that hood clearance problem, I might have another problem. They might just pop off one day and damage a window, which costs a lot of money. So this sucks. It really does. Here's the factory wiper blade, and I'm just going to put them side by side so you can see the difference here. This is one of the problems too, is that this one here, which is the Scrubbable, look when it's on a flat surface. I can't even lower it. It's got this gap I can stick my finger through. And the reason for that is that the bend points on the frame, this one's got one here, but these are out farther. So that's why this won't flatten down. Look at this. I'll put the two side by side. And look at the difference in height. This is why I'm not even going to turn the wipers off to see if they even clear the hood, because I mean that's just stupid. So I know I can't use these. They're poorly designed. They pretty much fit for the garbage. And my only choice now is to pursue this style blade if the dealer sells it or still sells it, and I can kind of see the end of this. If I could pry this up, this is probably like a refill type, so maybe I'll see if I can just get refills. But for now, we're still kind of right back at square one, right back where we started. And now this is going to go on trip 5, because trip 4 is going to be to take these things back, and then I got to go to a dealer, trip 5, to hopefully buy them. And if they don't have them and I got to order them, it's going to be a 6th trip. So who knows, maybe I'll just reach out the window and use a squeegee from now on and blow off using the wipers. But no, so we'll get it fixed one day. But this is where we're at for now, and I guess why I kind of took the time to tape this, because it's probably not your average wiper install, but sometimes even the simplest things can go all cattywampus on you. So we'll see what turns out of this. Thanks for watching.